Good morning. I'm Jason Rampey. I'm a lieutenant of the Greenville Police Department's Criminal Investigations Division. I appreciate everybody joining us on such short notice. On Wednesday of this week, the Greenville Police Department arrested and charged 5 individuals for their involvement in the murder of 18-year-old Udeh Joshua Prince Osuwagu, Jr. With us today is Udeh's mother, Kim Norman, and other members of their family. Ms. Norman, we are very sorry for the loss of your son, and I know the past few weeks have been very difficult for your family. Though Udeh's family will not share any formal remarks, they have agreed to speak with media after we conclude. During the early morning hours of Saturday, May 11th, the Greenville Police Department's Communications Center received multiple 911 calls for help from 741 Woodruff Road, which is Waterside Green Apartments. Within minutes, officers arrived and found an unresponsive young man critically injured from being shot inside of his apartment. The victim, Udeh Osuwagu, was immediately rushed to an area hospital, but despite the doctor's best efforts, he did not survive his injuries. Officers, investigators, forensics technicians, and other personnel then began a thorough investigation to learn what happened and who was involved. These efforts included interviewing victims, witnesses, and family, processing and analyzing physical, biological, ballistic, and digital evidence, evaluating Crime Stoppers tips, reviewing information received from informers, and following up on intelligence gathered by crime analysts and specialized team members within the Greenville Police Department. Within hours of Udeh's murder, investigators learned that a group of individuals, 3 armed men, entered his apartment around 3 a.m. demanding money. Witnesses tell us that when those inside the apartment did not comply, they were threatened and assaulted. The men then became agitated by the victim's inaction, and one or more of the men shot Udeh, who was seated on the couch in the front room, critically injuring him. Over the past few weeks, officers have worked diligently to gather information needed to charge those suspected of being involved, conducting additional interviews, conducting surveillance, and analyzing many, many pieces of evidence. Earlier this week, phone records, witness statements, and other physical evidence provided us the evidence we needed to formally charge 5 individuals for their role in Udeh's death. Darius Rhodes, 18, of 111 Fleming Street, Greenville. Natasha Nicole Booker, 17, of 103 Deoli Avenue, Greenville. Tommy Lee Long, 21, of 7 Bayhan Circle, Taylors. And Jaylon Fair, 24, of 127 Jericho Road, Easley, are each charged with murder, burglary first degree, armed robbery, kidnapping, assault and battery first degree, criminal conspiracy, and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. A 5th person, 17-year-old Javonda Lene Dillard of 210 Colebrook Drive, Greenville, is charged with accessory after the fact to murder. Investigators still have a lot of work to do. Just in the past few days, we've received additional information from informers, witnesses, and those involved. It is possible that investigators will identify and charge other individuals for their involvement. Before I conclude, I would like to thank those who provided invaluable assistance during this investigation. The Greenville County Forensics Division, the Greenville Crime Lab, the Greenville County Coroner's Office, Greenville Crime Stoppers, the United States Marshal Service, the Greenville County Sheriff's Office, and the 13th Circuit Solicitor's Office, represented today by Assistant Solicitor Brian Maroney. Brian, thank you for being here. I'll try to answer any questions that you guys have. Yes, sir.
If you could speak to some of the challenges that you guys face as far as why it has taken a few weeks here to get those suspects in. What were some of the challenges you guys faced?
Certainly. The question was some of the challenges of this case and why it took the weeks that it took. And every case has unique challenges. We have to build a case. We obtain as much information immediately following an incident as we can. That comes from witness statements. That comes from physical evidence. But a lot of times it takes the analysis of that evidence to build a case, and that is often supported by witness statements and statements from victims. Any other questions that we have? No? All right. There is a motive. Robbery is the motive. We know that these men were attracted to Udeh's apartment from a social media post earlier days before.
Is there any indication he knew him beforehand?
We think that I don't know that they were acquaintances, but we think they knew Udeh or knew of Udeh.
Can you discuss, Lieutenant, what it was about the social media post that discovered attracted them to?
I'm not going to get into the specifics of that post, but we know that it attracted them to his apartment for the purposes of committing the robbery.
Has these suspects been in legal trouble before this?
Some of them do have criminal histories, yes.
In terms of the arrest, we had heard that one of them might have been arrested at a graduation. Is that correct?
That is not accurate, no.
Can you tell us the roles they played?
I can. So we have 2 females and 3 males. The information provided to us is that the 2 females entered the apartment basically as an intelligence gathering, if you will. And upon them leaving, the 3 men then entered the apartment and committed the robbery and ultimately the murder.
Has this group done anything like this in the past? I know you said they had a criminal history.
I don't know specifically what their criminal history is, but they do, like I said, they do have a criminal history.
Is there something to take away from this, like a warning?
Well, I think for young people, certainly, is you know, everyone wants to, I think, talk, advertise on social media. It's just part of our culture. But I think there are ways to safeguard yourself. So I think that maybe people can learn from that.
You mentioned a lot of different policing techniques, from surveillance to collecting all types of evidence to witness statements. Was there anything in particular that you found to be the most helpful?
Well, I think there are many pieces to the puzzle, and you use all that to put it all together. One supports the other, whether it's physical evidence, biological evidence, blood or saliva, DNA. So there are many forms of evidence. So we use each. One supports the other to better understand what happened.
Do you know which one was the suspect that actually did the shooting and what kind of gun was used?
We're still speaking with individuals now that there's some dispute over that. We do have some people cooperating, but we're still working toward that.
Do you know, and I know you mentioned the 3 men, were they all armed?
That is our understanding, that they're each armed.
And more than one shot him
There were more than one shot fired, yes,
from 2 different guns.
we believe.
What was the social media platform?
Facebook.
Were they let in? Did they break in?
Our understanding is that part of the ruse of the females visiting was to allow them the ability to enter the apartment.
Did y'all recover all the weapons that were used?
We have recovered some firearms. There's a lot of analysis to be done to determine if those are the specific firearms. Anything else?
Is there a sense that there could be any more potential suspects in this, or?
Well, like I said, there's a lot of work to do, and there is a possibility that we identify and charge other people.
And what type of guns was it?
These are handguns, pistols. All right, that's it.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Thanks, everybody.